Man, I don't know if I can make this work as a vase. This is actually starting to look pretty cool.
Hi, it's Mark, the Family Woodworker. After moving into this home 4 years ago, we had to clean up the landscaping quite a bit, including a few dead bushes like this unattractive little guy. It was so dead and barren, in fact, identifying the species was impossible, other than I knew that it was heavy and likely to be a hardwood variety. I dried it out in the garage for more than 3 years, and I thought the root ball and the burl might make for an interesting flower vase. I mean, that sounds like a plan, right?
I have part of a plan.
To get it on my little hobby lathe, the total diameter can't be more than 10 inches, so I knew that I'd have to trim down some of the roots that stuck out too far, and in order to have a decent-sized base to work with, I'd have to cut the root ball in half. I thought that the twisted roots were more visually appealing than the top branches, so I focused my energy on cleaning out all the dirt, the bark, and the other debris stuck inside that root ball. I know that watching cleanup like this is like sitting through a root canal, pun intended, but I'll trim those hours of work down to a few tight shots and fast cuts. It was at this point I started to notice that my plan for a root ball flower vase was starting to fall apart. I knew that the project might be risky given that I'd have to cut away much of that natural root formation on the outside and inside, but it was also really lopsided once I put it on the lathe. Turning it would mean that one side of the vase would show just outer remnants of those root formations, while the other side would just wind up being all epoxy. Even though I bought extra epoxy and some red dye for the pour, I think now that I'd be cutting away and wasting the natural beauty and curves of this amazing root ball. I mean, I know it's a little shocking.
I feel shocked.
But I'm dumping this project in favor of another plan. This curvy chunk of wood still needs some more cleanup and sanding, but it deserves to be featured in its entirety, natural curves, warts, and all.
So what's the plan?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I have a plan, Arthur.
First of all, you're copying me from when I said I had a plan.
I'm not.
You serious?
Yeah.
Okay. I do have a way to rescue this project. I really like this twisted nightmare of a root ball as a potential table lamp, maybe even with a see-through wooden lampshade too. So let's get on with it. Let's talk about the wooden lampshade a bit. I knew you could buy some really thin wood veneer to use as a shade, but I wanted to make my own somehow, and credit goes out to a fantastic YouTube channel called Pask Makes for the idea of bonding thin wood material to plastic with epoxy. I'm using a translucent sheet of craft poster board with clear casting epoxy as my backer, using my thin white ash wood strips for the top layer. The whole process was incredibly messy, but the wax paper should help me release the laminated sheet once it's all cured. Another piece of MDF and some weight will help press everything flat while it cures. I also have some 1/2-inch oak veneer plywood that'll serve as my top and bottom hoops for the shade, and I'll still have to figure out a way to cut down the spokes on that 12-inch metal frame to install it into that top plywood hoop. Well, the epoxy actually did a pretty amazing job holding that plastic sheeting to those thin slivers of white ash, but I definitely wanted to get it as thin as possible to possibly have some light show through. So I did some more sanding as far as I thought I could safely go, and then I needed to trim it so that it would roll up nice and smooth into that lampshade form. That 12-inch hoop that I bought for, I think, all of $5 needed to be cut down into that 10-inch diameter to fit the hoop. And then it was just a matter of fitting those 3 prongs into some pre-drilled holes. Now, I'm glad I didn't throw away those square pieces of plywood that I used to cut out those circular rounds. They will wind up being a clamping system for me to help squeeze down that laminated sheet onto each hoop. And once I got it formed around the outside, I put the hoop on the inside of the form and pressed it down, and that actually helped to round out the entire laminated sheet. Once pressed into place, I locked it in with a little medium thick CA glue around the perimeter. I wanted to find a way to dress up the seam between the edges of that laminated sheet, and I found these 100% copper nails with a hand-hammered head, and I thought they'd look pretty awesome to sort of act as rivets to hold the sheet together. Unfortunately, this bag of 100 copper nails cost $35. So at 35 cents a nail, I took my time and made sure that they fit in really well. For the inside, I just cut up some walnut dowels to serve as the backer for each one of those copper nails. And now the lampshade is done. So I guess I'm not completely done because I've got to finish up the base for the lamp, which is going to require hollowing out the bottom of the base so that I could get some wire in through the side and then snake the wire up through the sculpture. And now that all the prep is done, it's time for final finishing. And I just wound up using a semi-gloss lacquer in order to help bring out the wood grain and give it a little bit of shine. And once I started to spray out the root ball, I was amazed at how absolutely beautiful this thing turns out to be. I really love the contrast between the lighter wood grain on the outside of the root ball and the dark bark layers on the inside. And now for final construction, it was as simple as getting the wire snaked up through the bottom of the base, up through the root ball, and to start attaching the electrical lamp parts on top. I wound up buying an adjustable hoop because I wasn't really sure how high off the top of the lamp I wanted the shade to sit, but I'll have some options once I get it installed. The top nut was nothing more than a walnut dowel that I finished and screwed on top. And now it's done. With my 3 kids looking down, judging my quality of work, the lamp really looks fantastic on the desk. It's really interesting looking no matter the angle that you use to look at it, and it's going to make a great addition to our office. Had I bought a full sheet of veneer to finish the lampshade, it would have eliminated all the cracks between my laminated pieces, but I really wanted to try to construct this myself. And a little bit of light leakage between the seams on my cut pieces don't seem to bother me all that much. In the end, I was really amazed at the final outcome, and it looks amazing on the desk. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. We don't ask for donations or charge for memberships, so your thumbs up and a subscription to our channel really help us a lot. Take care.